We are not under a military rule where, unlike during the Obasanjo time, where they say, okay, let us have two candidates from the southwest so that the ultimate winner would be a southwesterner. That nobody can decide that. Buhari has no power to decide it. We have to negotiate with governors. We have to negotiate with leaders of the party to be able to get a consensus. Unfortunately, in the APC, the consensus was that Tinubu should get it for one reason or the other, whether it was induced or it was voluntary. The same thing in the PDP. The PDP could not get themselves to agree on zoning it to the southeast. And so we created this situation in which, again, the two leading candidates are from the APC and the PDP, are the ones from the zones from the areas that had the presidency before. So if you are a nation builder, you would think that maybe you should go to the southeast. But beyond that, if you are looking for good leadership, which is the reason why people are following Obi. Obi has made the right noises. Obi does not have the kind of baggage that all the two of them, both Tinubu and Atiku, the kind of garbage they carry. It does not. His history is neater than those of those people. He's a younger man. He's fit. He's mentally alert. He has everything that can make us think that he will do a good job. And so, from all these perspectives, it's reasonable to expect that somebody will opt for Peter Obi. And of course, Obasanjo is courageous enough to be able to make public his own preference. Many people do not have that courage. One of the things you give to Obasanjo is his courage of conviction. When he's convinced about something, he talks about it. It doesn't matter whether the whole world is going the opposite direction. And that is a mark of a leader. So, Obi's choice is a matter of, first, there's a personal element of avoiding being labeled a tribalist, being labeled a Fulani stooge. And of course, there are the issues of which zone should get it. Nation building considerations. Then there's the issue of the new attitude to governance. Who can govern better than we have had before? Not those who have seen, who have benefited, who have put government resources into their own pocket and become billionaires, are riding private jets from resources that they cannot explain. No, those are not the people those are not the persons we want. But that is where Obasanjo is, and that is where the analysis will take you. But we are in a democracy. Obasanjo has made his own choice. It does not mean anything. Obasanjo, quite honestly, I must say it, not in any negative way, when it comes to electoral politics, is a paper tiger. Want to mean that somebody who can talk, but he cannot influence anybody. Somebody was saying Obasanjo's endorsement is worthless. It's not worthless. No, it doesn't carry, because Obasanjo will not spend money. He will not mobilize candidates for you. He's supposed to say, okay, I'm giving you moral support. Go ahead and try. If you can win, you can win. But he cannot make you win, because even in his own state, Obasanjo could not get a governor to win when he nominated Olure in 2015. So nobody should condemn him. In fact, we should praise him for his courage of conviction. We should praise him for his nation-building commitment, that to see that Nigeria does the right thing.
Very well, Prof. Let's talk about the PDP for a bit. What's happening in the PDP? Many had perceived before now that the Rivers State Governor Yesin Wike was instrumental towards the zoning, jettisoning zoning in the party. But just yesterday, he came out to reveal that he didn't have a hand in it, or he debunks that and says he didn't have a hand in it. He wasn't responsible for the jettisoning of zoning, that other people worked behind the scenes to ensure that zoning was put aside in the PDP. Now, with the way things are going in the PDP, where 5 governors are saying we're not in support of the presidential candidates of our party, we're not going to campaign for him, and the presidential campaign as well as the presidential candidates are not, they seem to have moved on and saying, well, they want to move on without the 5 governors. What do you see? What's the fortunes, or what are the fortunes for the PDP looking like at the moment?
Yeah, you see, in this electoral cycle, the PDP seems to have the best of the chances of all the parties to win if they manage themselves well. Because you see, if you look at the geography of election of voting in Nigeria, the whole of the South is eminently PDP. Southeast is PDP, but Southeast will now be contested by Labour Party under Obi. So the Southwest will be like the APC, but then there are pockets of PDP that are of significant. If the PDP can win Oyo State and Osun State, where it has governors, and contest, in a significant way in Ekiti and Ondo State. Now, then you move to the north. That is no guarantee that it will be a party affair. My fear is that in the north will vote for so. They're already building up that momentum to say, we didn't do well, and the Yorubas got all the benefits of Buhari and all that stuff. APC. Now, APC is being demonized in order to pave way for PDP. They're not going to pave the way for B. Nobody is talking about to be in the north. So now you find a situation in which the PDP is mismanaging its prospects. Now, the Wike group started by asking for the chairman to be brought to the south. Wike himself cannot tell the story and be honest about it to say that he was not part of those who created this problem. You wanted it to come you wanted it to be initially to come to the south. And the Tom who is following Wiki all over the place is the one that was chairman of the zoning committee. And Wiki wanted the chairmanship to go to the north so that it will favor him when he throws his heart into the race. And that's why he fought his own man. Secondly, he virtually turned around. Secondly, that he helped to make chairman. He became an instant enemy because of his own ambition. And of course, God knows how much he spent in maintaining the party, in getting all these things. In the end, the zoning was thrown open. They couldn't get it to go to the south, to the southeast. So they denied the southeast, not because Wike did not want the southeast, not because people didn't want the southeast, but because Wike was interested in an open contest and he knew that he would outspend the southeast. So let us start from where it is. If Wike denied the southeast because he wanted it and they couldn't zone it, then it became an open contest and it was outmaneuvered. And it's been shouting and shouting. But the reality is that my initial thought was that, well, what are you shouting about? The chairmanship is not important now until you win an election. There's no zoning of offices until you win an election. But really, we must look at it if you are doing election, if you are not doing political theory. You cannot afford to lose 5 governors. No party can afford to lose 5 governors. It does not make sense for you to have 5 governors not with you. How many governors do you have in the PDP? Maybe about 16 or 17 governors, and then 5 of them are not working for you. It does not make sense. I don't think, let me say it as bluntly as possible, IU is not worth 5 governors. You must do your political calculation. Yosha Ayu is a great chairman, is a great academy, is a great everything, but it's not worth. In fact, I'm not sure Yosha Ayu can deliver Benue for Atiku. At the end of, and meanwhile, you want to lose governors of 5 states and their supporters and their resources. They are supposed to be rooting for you. If Wike is with you, you can guarantee you win River State. If your term is all those Guayi and all those people, Makinde is the only one that is the exception. Is the man who does not know his politics. You are a sitting governor and you are working against your own presidential candidate. How do you want to win your own election? So what he's doing does not make sense. Somebody should tell him that he's politically unwise. All the other governors are not returning. The other 4 governors are not returning. So they can afford to take risks, not Makinde. You should not be with them. Although the issue that is fighting, the Southerners should have been president, the Southerners should be chairman. These are very serious, profound issues. So let me say to you, if I were to advise the PDP, reconcile with those governors. Tell you to step down IU is not the equivalent of 5 governors. You need 5 governors to mobilize vote for you. What you are looking for is vote. That is why the APC went for Muslim. They were not looking for sentiments. They were thinking of how to mobilize votes. And the best way to mobilize votes in the North is to have a Muslim candidate. It's not about sentiment. So we are in a political season. People should use political sense, not moral sense. IU has enjoyed the chairmanship of the PDP. Let him step down. And if Atiku wins, he probably will be given a ministerial appointment or some important appointment that will compensate for whatever he might have lost if he loses anything at all. So to PDP, if you want your chances, which you have at present, you have the prospect of winning. Because I don't see that there will be that passion for Tinubu in the North, as people think. And there's also some negative consequences of Buhari's rule in the North, particularly in the management of terrorism and banditry, where Northerners have been slaughtered in their thousands over the years. So Tinubu's chances are limited, but PDP is destroying its own prospects by sticking to this article. Give the Wike group the chairmanship, not the chairmanship, drop article and find another chairman. Even if you won't give it to the Wike's group, let them be involved in the selection. And you come to an agreement, and you can reconcile. If that is, you are not asking Atiku to step down. But they are now trying to mobilize support for themselves by saying they are fighting for Southern presidency. That was not their original platform. But because you have allowed the thing to drag on, they are now going to become champions of Southern causes and begin to say what we are fighting for is for the South. What they need, if you remove IU tomorrow, tell IU to resign. IU should not stay there and undermine the chances of the PTP. That is the reality. One, IU is not equivalent to, politically speaking, not equivalent to Autumn in his own state. Not to talk to equivalent to 5 governors. So PDP must manage itself, manage what they have now, this crisis, very well. Let the governors return. Give them the opportunity to return by telling IU to step down.
Very well said, Professor Femi. We'll be talking more on the fortunes of the political parties and the chances of some of them in the 2023 election. The 2023 is here. The elections will be next month, and I'll bring in callers in a bit. Keep it with us. The conversation continues.
Okay.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Can we play another song?
The good tunes just don't stop.
The good tunes just don't stop.
Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja.
No offense to the commercials. It's just that we want to see other audio.
Eagles 102.3.
Yanga bit, only 100 naira. 100 naira, you enter. Everybody can bid. If you win your bid, you go.
Now, Jimmy, you never stopped the lie. You told my friend that you use 100 naira to buy this laptop.
My sister, I said make I bid for laptop before I say Jack Robinson. I just see message. Congratulations, you have won laptop.
Hey!
Download the Yanga Bid Wheel of Fortune game from your Apple or Google Play Store. Sign up to any plan, start playing and winning.
Yanga Bid, Nigeria's 100 naira online market.
You can call us on 091 3000 2014. 091 3000 2014.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja. Abuja.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just 15,000 naira? Get a chance to talk your business for 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. The Entrepreneur. Talk your business for just 15,000 naira. Hurry now.
Thank you for staying with us on your radio experience. You can count on. This is Eagles 102.3 and you are onto Eagles Outlook. This morning, the Eagle Eye is looking and examining the political landscape ahead of the elections. And my guest today is Professor Femi Otubanjo, a professor of political science and a special advisor to two chief ex of general staff, chief of general staff, Lieutenant General Oladipo Dia retired, and that's of late Vice Admiral Mike Akigbe. Joining me this morning in this robust conversation, quite an interesting one it's been, and we'll let you in the conversation in a bit. But before then, Professor, looking at the Nigerian polity from 1999 till today, since we returned to democracy in 1999, people have said, look, there's never been a time when the Nigerian polity has been like this. The three strong contenders in the race. In fact, about five of them, or four of them at least now, who are really strong in the race. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso of the NNPP, Peter Obi of the Labour Party. We also have Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, as well as Ashwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu of the APC. These are, strong heavyweights in the race in 2023. And, from your calculation, you've said it, you've just analyzed, made an analysis that kind of gives the PDP an edge if it's able to manage itself well, like you said. But now, with what's happening with the fact that people are not going to be voting just two ways in the 2023 election, what do you see playing out, considering the fact that political parties are not, Nigerians have said this is the only election year where we've not seen monies in, coming out like that. We're not seeing, even the political parties don't seem to be campaigning seriously as they used to. What do you think is the reason for all of this?
Well, I'm not sure you are correct to say that money is not flowing. Or that they are not campaigning. They are campaigning. The campaigns are not necessarily in the newspapers, on the radio. I'm sure the volume of political campaign on your station must have increased. I expect it to. But the reality is that people campaign. There are many networks in political parties, and sometimes it's ubiquitous. It's not you don't know it. It's not publicized. It is relentless. It's an everyday thing. At the world level, at the local government level, at the state level. What you are thinking of is the national campaigns in which leaders are going around. They are going around. I'm not worried about the level of campaign. What is the most important campaign are the lower levels. If you can reach the people, if your agents are working and mobilizing and reminding and distributing posters and handbills and so on, that's a very massive enterprise that parties have to do. You have to have your posters everywhere all over the country, billboards, you have to be on the radio, you have to be on television, and those things are going on. They cost a lot of money, but they are inevitable. So I'm not sure there's any bigger difference now from what we had before. What is different is that we have, like you said, four credible candidates, potential candidates, and there are two leading ones. To be fair to you, the two leading candidates are Atiku and Tinubu, because they have political parties that have national network, massive national network. The other two parties have to build up, and they are building up. That is why the endorsement of Obasanjo for Obi is very important. It's part of the building up of the party, of giving it name recognition, of giving it what you call the grassroots support. That is, you now convince people that Obi is a serious candidate. He has the support of an Obasanjo. That helps to convince people that maybe Obi might even win. People think that who is following Obi, because that has been the question. Who are the important people behind Obi? Who are the people who are supporting him? The other parties can boast of so many ex-governors, ex-ambassadors, ex-ministers, and so on. Who are the people behind Obi? There are not many of them. But now you have an Obasanjo, you have an Ayo Adebanjo, and you are going to have more supporting. So, and Obi, quite honestly, if Obi is mobilizing young people, if those young people should come out to vote, and he can slice off votes from frustration created by APC, and slice off votes from the traditional PDP areas like the Southeast, where there's ethnic sentiments in his support, then he has a fair chance. Yeah, but the solid traditional parties, the two solid traditional parties, still are ahead. And because what we find is that in some places, like Lagos, Obi has no senatorial candidates. Outside doesn't have many, about 13 or 14 states. That is not a recipe for winning elections. Those candidates are the ones who, in the other levels of candidacy, that give parties life. Because if individuals want to contest, their posters are everywhere. Their posters carry their party insignia, and they are constantly mobilizing people to vote for them. If you don't have somebody who is contesting for Senate in a various place, the name of the president would not be constant in the minds of people. The president's candidate will not come there more than once. He won't go to once, more than once to a state, because we have 36 states and the federal capital. It is difficult to reach all those states more than once. When you go to the capital, you have this mass crowd, but that does not translate to the people who are in the rural areas, people who are in the towns, various towns and so on. People that you have to reach. You reach them through other candidates, through senatorial candidates, through House of Representatives, through House of Assembly, through council chairmanship, and so on. Unfortunately, if you don't have that, your chances are likely to be diminished, to be less than that of the others. So for Kwankwaso, in my view, he has name recognition, has had this Kwankwasia movement for some time, but I don't see that he has any presence in any significant sense in anywhere in the South. He is not arousing passion like Obi, because he's been there. He's one of the politicians that we know. He belongs to the Tinubu Atiku category, because after all, he contested for the presidency of APC in 2015. So he belongs to that whole category. Obi seems to be the only one that is not tainted by that categorization, and seems to be making the right noises, to be connecting to young people, to connecting to the message of saving Nigeria. You know, what is important for him is to be able to translate that to votes. You know, my own view is that it will be difficult. This time around, it will be difficult for him to have victory. I don't see that happening, you know, unless a miracle happens.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'll bring in callers now. Join the conversation and put forward your thoughts and comments. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. What's your name?
Yeah, Mr. Henry calling from Gudu.
Mr. Henry, I'm glad
Happy
you're
New
here.
Year.
I wish you the same. How are you today?
I'm okay, and Happy New Year to your guest there on phone.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, your guest have spoken well, but I disagree with him. See, the politics that is about to play this 2023 is not the same politics he's analyzing. People are the owners of the politics. The politics that we play now is for the politics of masses. People have suffered a lot in this country. We don't need anybody that will spend our money in medical tourism abroad. We don't need anybody that will pack our money in money bag. We need people that will know the problems of masses of Nigeria. People that will put food in the table of every common Nigeria. Because what is happening in Nigeria now, the poor are getting poorer while the richer are getting richer. We don't want it again. We want somebody, at least, if P2B is not 100%, at least let him be 60% or 50%, to put smile in the face of people. People are going through hell in this country. How much is a bag of rice? Our local made rice, how much is it? How much is fuel? Why can't we All these people that are coming in, they don't have any vision for us. Look at common refinery. Nigeria assists producing oil country. I'm not even boast of any refinery. And you tell me that we don't need these people again. We the youth. We are the majority. We are making up our minds.
Okay.
I stopped voting since 1993 during Abiola. Because of what happened, I said I will not go. But this time around, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote. I'm sure that my candidate will come victorious. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Henry. Have a very fantastic day. I'll bring in another caller before we get back with my guest. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Abdullah, good to have you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, our special guest. I want to say something I want to say concerning Konkoso candidacy. Remember, Konkoso is the most educated candidate we have right now among those highest, biggest candidates we have in the country because he is a PhD holder first. And the secondly, Konkoso has done tremendous effort in Kano State. His physical, development is something that everyone sees from the northern side. And if you visit Kano from every part of the country, you will see how good a great job. So there is no way the northern youth will abandon Konkoso and go for another candidate, especially the Kano State or the northwest where Konkoso came from, because he came from the highest populated area in the country. That's northwest. So if you say Konkoso will not make any kind of significant effort in this election, I don't agree with that because his region is the most populated region and he has done tremendous effort in that region. And the youth, he sent many youth to abroad to go and further their studies in various professions. Now we have more than 3,000 students who went to universities around the world. Some are medical doctors, some are pilots. He sent people to abroad to study professional courses, and now they are working in and outside Nigeria. So he is a person that the northern youth have already recognized. And I don't think if Atiku himself will get massive vote from the north like a Konkoso. So we know who is Konkoso. When we are looking for credibility, we know who is he. So nobody will come and say, this is the right person for the people of the north, especially the youth. Somebody who is sending you abroad to go and study. As you came from poor family, now you are somebody. We can never forget that person. Go and check what you did in Kano State.
Thank you, Abdullahi Mekano. Thank you very much. I'll bring in another caller here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, President Iheanacho. Good morning to your guests and happy New Year to everybody.
Good to have you, Clement. Go ahead, let's hear you.
On Obasanjo's endorsement of Obi, like we have been saying since yesterday, that couldn't have been more ideologically sound of Obasanjo than now. I've always taken a swipe on Obasanjo's letter writing and posturing over time. But this time around, I think he got it right. If you consider what's happening to Nigeria under this APC government, we are all proponents of this APC government. We all contributed our hard and time and energy to ensuring that Buhari emerged in 2015. And I thought it was a consolation to his cries when he said he will never present himself again. You know, we thought the Messiah had come, considering his pedigree as a former Minister of State when he said with Diagmo. But it is all a woeful outing now. The massive killings of Nigerians, not only in the north, but even in the south. Because killing, kidnapping has become infectious business that even from the south they have seen the benefits. So this government showed an ill wind to Nigerians by allowing this thing to fester for a long time. Because I don't think the government has done enough to actually, the military is trying now, but when I asked this question the other time, when the bandits stormed Kuje prison and took away those they wanted to take away, and no hair was lost on their head, was it that the government actually gave the military the go-ahead to counter these people and ambush them? It was like a show. It's outrageous. What's happening to Nigeria? Killings, maiming, kidnapping of women and girls. Today, Chibok, next tomorrow, it's Dachi, Katsina is on fire. Everywhere is on fire in Nigeria. That they had even come close to there was no kidnapping in Kubwa. Kubwa, yeah. Killings everywhere. Look at the price of foodstuffs. Look at the living standard of Nigerians. Yeah, amidst corruption and the massive looting of our resources. Boy, today oil bunkering is the poor that is bunkering oil. They know themselves. The sources of this insurgency. Does government not know them? Has government not been given the wherewithal to actually identify them? Their spokesman Kumi is still moving freely. He goes into the forest, sees them, throws money, comes back. What has government actually done to bring this situation to a halt? Nigerians are bleeding.
Prince.
So Obasanjo is right. Shortly, please, on Wike's fury with PDP. I think the man is frustrated truly because he wanted Southern president. And they all agreed, all PDP governors agreed in Asaba. Okowa was one of them who hosted the meetings. So at long last, Okowa wanted the Northern president again because it gave him a way to become vice president. Then Muke pulled out. So I think that's even a shot in the foot of the PDP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clement Zion Prince. Professor, you've heard the callers. Some of them agree with you, some of them do not. Abdullahi Mekano does not agree that, Rabiu Kwankwaso is a small fry in the polity today as we see it in the race to 2023 presidency. What would be your final thoughts to some of these, aggregating these thoughts together? What would be your conclusion?
When you are involved in a political debate, it will be foolish to expect unanimity of ideas. People have their subjective, emotional preferences, and they do not want to. They will not easily be dislodged from their prejudices. Now, the point is not to disagree with me; it is to have an alternative perspective. As we are all taught in primary school, if wishes were horses, beggars will ride. If we are all to have our wishes, our candidate will be president tomorrow. What I try to do as a teacher and an observer, somebody who has been in government, somebody who has been in the political field. I was effectively director of logistics for Yaradua campaign in 2007. So we know Nigeria, we know how things go. So we are cautious, and we are not saying that the masses are not angry. It is not the masses; they are the middle class. We are all dissatisfied with Nigeria, the way things have gone. But can we mobilize sufficiently to effect the change that we need? Will people go out to vote on the day of election? Have you convinced the rural population? It's not about youth. Youth are operating in the cities, but you can use the phone and so on. Can the vote of the youth counterbalance the votes of the rural people who don't care about your new perspectives? So we all are praying for a better Nigeria. We are praying for a candidate that can change Nigeria. So there's nothing to disagree with me about. And I did say that is part of the consideration of Obasanjo's endorsement. That we are looking for it, aligning with the masses of Nigeria, aligning with the young people of Nigeria who want a better future. That's why it's supporting Obi. But I'm looking at the practical politics of getting Obi in power. It is not impossible, but it is improbable, very difficult. That's how I will end it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Femi Otobajo, for your thoughts and time on the program this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for inviting me. God bless you. Have a good day and a good year.
Yes, you too, sir. And this is where we drop the anchors. Thank you to you for being a big part of the conversation this morning, those of you who called in, and to you who sat back to listen. I call you MVP. I can't do the program without you. Thank you so much for being there. Business News comes up next, and right after that, it will be time for the Midday Extra with Martha and Dennis Sucre. Keep it locked here on your radio experience. You can count on. My name is Iheanacho Prince. Bye for now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.